What's going on, Broncos Country? Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. We've got the latest news and rumors surrounding the Denver Broncos following Super Bowl 56, because whenever the season officially concludes for all 32 teams, it kicks the league into an extra gear of getting ready for the next season. So, coming up on today's show, could the Broncos end up re-signing Von Miller? Was a lofty idea a couple months ago, but now Denver looks pretty poised to try and bring home Von. And then we'll check out the new defensive coordinator along with the new special teams defensive coach and the defensive coordinator and the special teams coordinator as the LA Rams season has come to an end, so the Broncos can officially make those hires official. And finally, over the weekend, Aaron Rodgers spoke to the NFL community when he accepted his four-time MVP award, and it made people wonder, is he staying in Green Bay or does he want to leave Green Bay? We'll kind of dissect his comments. But first, with the Super Bowl in the books, are you pumped for Von Miller winning his second Super Bowl ring? If so, go ahead and like this video to congratulate him. Hopefully you can see all the love Broncos Country is sending him, because let's be honest, even though the Broncos had the Rams' second and third round pick, once they got all the way to the Super Bowl, I was like, what's the difference between 32 or 31? How about we get Von an extra ring? Speaking of the Super Bowl, let's just show some love to Von Miller, who had a career night last night against the Bengals. He notched his four and a half sack, which ties an NFL record. So shout out to you, Von Miller. You are already a future Hall of Famer, but now your name is just etched into another NFL record book. And how awesome would it be if you could get to 5 sacks in Super Bowl 57 with the Denver Broncos and then own that record outright for Von Miller? And I think the way it happens is, if you're Von Miller, you want to go somewhere where you can win another ring. You want to get 3 rings. And if Denver can land a superstar quarterback, I'm guessing he would make the Broncos his favorite place to go, because that was the only piece of the puzzle the Broncos were really missing this past season, was above-average quarterback play. And so if the Denver Broncos can go out and get Rodgers or Wilson or even like a Kirk Cousins, which I know isn't the sexiest pick, but he's a step up from Teddy Bridgewater, I'm guessing Von Miller would be pretty interested in coming back to Mile High. So I made a mock contract. This is kind of based off of the contract that J.J. Watt got in Arizona. So I'm giving him 2 years, $25 million, average of 12.5, and 18 guaranteed. Listen, if the Broncos go out and get Aaron Rodgers and bring back Von Miller, who just a little more rejuvenized and a little more pumped up after having a bit of a lull this season at the end of his time in Denver and the start of his time in LA, and get the last little bit out of Von Miller and get another Super Bowl for him, and this time in Denver again, say less. So if you want Von Miller to come back to Mile High, go ahead and type 58, his number, down in the comments section below. One of my favorite things about Broncos Country is we are so appreciative of all the players on the team. And even when Von Miller isn't on the team, we're still rooting for him because he is a Bronco at heart. And he said that before. So go ahead and spam 58 down below in the comment section. That way Von Miller gets the message pretty loud and clear that everyone back in Denver wants him to return home. And while you're down there, here's the deal I'm going to make for you guys. If you're new to the Broncos Breakdown channel, I'm going to make a bit of an offer here. Subscribe right now, and I can see everyone that's subscribed, and I'm going to include your name in a letter I will write to Von Miller, pitching for him to come back to Denver. One of my 3 favorite things in this world is guided parking and ice cream trucks and the U.S. Postal Service. And we can make that trifecta happen if you guys subscribe to the channel and help us bring 58 back to Denver. I didn't like seeing him wearing number 40. That was very strange for me. Let's get him back in 58, and let's get him back in Denver. Switching gears, we go more towards the news side of things on today's show. So the Broncos were for a long time waiting for the Super Bowl to wrap up so they can make these hires official, and they basically are now. So the new defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos is Ejiro Evero. He was the secondary coach for the LA Rams this past season. He had been coaching there for a handful of years and recently got promoted to the secondary coach this past season, and he's got some loose ties already to Denver. He overlapped with Dom Capers, who is now the defensive consultant in Denver, when they were in Green Bay together back in 2016. And I guess his biggest, boldest note on his resume is what defensive backs have done under him. Here are 5 DBs that have worked and played under Evero that have really soared. So, of course, Jalen Ramsey is an easy one. I may have been able to be the coach that year, and it probably would have been okay, but just didn't happen. Would have been okay. And then Eric Weddle along with that. Taylor Rapp had a great year. He got 2 rings. He got an engagement ring handed out, and he got a Super Bowl ring. And then John Johnson as well. And finally, Troy Hill. So a couple names right there that have done some phenomenal things under the guidance of Evero. The next name is the special teams coordinator. It is Dwayne Stukes. Got some notes for you guys to kind of brush up on who Stukes is. He was the Rams, he was the Rams assistant special teams coach in 2021. He's been a special team / defensive coach for quite some time in the NFL. He's been bouncing around teams since 2006. He was actually originally in the NFL version of Europe with the Berlin Thunder, or whatever they're called. And so he's been around the league for quite some time. He's got a lot of experience, and this is a relatively inexperienced coaching staff, so it's nice to see some more veteran presence on the coaching staff. And my final note is it's really hard to do worse than what Tom McMahon did this past season for the Broncos. So just by showing up, he's going to be a major improvement from the Broncos special teams unit this past season. All right, those are the 2 biggest hires we've come at your way. We'll get a coaching tracker / updated picture video out later this week. And that kind of goes full circle on all the hires Nathaniel Hackett has made to his staff. And with the season over, now all those hires can really become official. So grade the hires for me, though. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Next up is Aaron Rodgers staying or leaving. So Aaron Rodgers won his 4th MVP award. And during his speech at the NFL awards ceremony, he left it a little vague of which side he's leaning towards. We'll show you his quotes in just a moment. But today is Valentine's Day. So if you forgot to get your loved one, your special lady, a Valentine's Day gift, just blame it on the U.S. Postal Service or FedEx or UPS, whatever it is, and go to chatsports.com/BroncosCupid right now to get this awesome shirt for your girlfriend, for your wife, for the girl you want to make your girlfriend, 25% off. It's going to be a lot better than when you show up tonight to dinner and you come empty-handed, or you're like me and dinner's going to be Chipotle and I'm going to play it off like this really cool, unique Mexican restaurant that she's not going to buy. So head on over to chatsports.com/BroncosCupid. I'll have that link in the comments and in the description of the video so you can't miss it. Let's get back to what you guys want to see, though, and that is the Rodgers quotes coming out of the NFL award ceremony. They're really cryptic, and so I've gone back and forth. But let's show you the quotes. He came out and he said this: "I'd like to thank the Green Bay Packers, Mark, Brian, Russ, our incredible fan base. It's been an amazing 17 years. So thankful for the memories and the moments over the years." I've read that quote about 1,000 times, and to me, it's like that gold or blue dress enigma we had like 10 years ago. Is it gold? Is it blue? I keep reading that and wondering, is that like a goodbye thing, or is that a can't wait for an 18th season? If you read Packers notes, they're like, oh, this is awesome. That's clearly a sign that he wants to stay. And then you read the Broncos notes, you're like, he can't wait to get out of there. That was a goodbye notice. I think it's a goodbye, but I can't positively say because I'm not Aaron Rodgers. And at this point, he's the only person that knows what he wants to do. He's got the pocket aces. He gets to decide whatever he really wants to do at this point. He'd also go on afterwards to say this. And this is regarding his future. "I'll make a decision in due time and not in a ton of time. I'll give the team plenty of time to do what they've got to do. I'm not going to keep a lot of people waiting." Well, at least this isn't like going to the movies and you got to wait half an hour to start the film. So I'm happy he's not going to sit on his hands for the next month, but I don't know if he's going to come out and say, yep, I'm staying in Green Bay, or no, please trade me to my number 1 choice, which is, of course, the Denver Broncos. With that being said, though, crystal ball time. Do you think Denver will have Aaron Rodgers under center next season? If so, give me a Y for yes. If you think Rodgers will be in Green Bay or he's going to be even somewhere else, give me an N for no. Personally, I think it's 50-50. Like I said, I've read those quotes 100 times, thousands of times at this point, and to me, that just kind of, I watched the videos too. It came off to me as if that's a bit of a goodbye speech, but At the end of the day, there's been a lot of reports coming out that he's made up a lot with the front office that was in his doghouse all offseason last year, and he boycotted them all offseason pretty much. And now he's thanking them in his MVP speech. Like, that wouldn't be something I would do. If I was so mad at the front office, I'd want to leave. Because I'm guessing if you're Rodgers, you think the best chance of winning a Super Bowl is remaining in Green Bay, because if you can get Devontae Adams back and you just make your special teams a little better and not what it was in the playoffs, you got a pretty good idea of what you need to do to win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure. We'll find out. It'll be a fun couple weeks here, so make sure you buckle up and stay tuned for everything surrounding the Broncos. Trade rumors, and news here at the channel. Hit that big red button and subscribe, and we will catch you later, Broncos Country.